Oh, I'm right over here. All right, guys. So what I'll be discussing is my background and how it's helped me um, and can everyone hear me, guys? How's it okay? Is it all right? All right. What I'll firstly discuss with everyone is all right. So the main thing I want to discuss first of all is being outside your comfort zone on a daily basis. So for an aspiring trader who's begun their journey learning to trade, you'll quickly realize that to trade is uncomfortable. What I mean by that, for example, let's say you're trading the euro US dollar. Recently, the euro US dollar has broken out of multiple resistance zones. A textbook would say when price action comes to a resistance zone, there is a selling opportunity. You might have tried this several times and it's continued not to work. And most people that aren't traders would be disheartened by this. They might have a week where they have 3 trades and all trades are losing trades. Now, if you start trading and you don't really know what you're doing and you're risking money that first, okay. All right. Okay, guys. Excellent. That's fantastic. I really do apologize about this. Essentially, the first, the first slide. Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. So just to cover who I am. So I'm Scott Andrews. I have worked for the Chinese Olympic Committee with speed skating as a strength and conditioning coach. So my professional background is not finance at all. And there are misconceptions. Yes, I'm starting. Okay. All right. So yes, can you hear me okay? I am starting. Am I coming through? I have shared the screen as well. Is everyone seeing the screen okay? I can't see the chat and see the screen at the same time. Excellent. Perfect. All right. So guys, I'm Scott Andrews. I'm a Forex trader for City Investment Solutions. I remotely trade funds for them. They're based in London. I also work as a strength coach remotely for Team China, specifically the long track speed skating team. And I also work for a couple other market analysis individuals in Singapore as well. So I present market analysis for them and I present videos on my YouTube channel. And I'm very passionate about the Forex markets and also the equity markets as well. And gold. I enjoy trading gold. Recently, it's been fantastic for people that got in long, and I will present to you guys some points on psychology, risk management, and I'll also discuss my strategy as well. So we'll go to the next slide now. where I'll discuss the importance of being outside your comfort zone. So in regards to trading, trading is not a practice that is really with human nature. So when you're trading, there'll be points where a successful trader is defying natural, human nature, where you might have 5 losing trades in a row, risking 0.5%. Then the 6th trade is a 5% winning trade. Most people would stop trading after a few losing. They'd stop. They go, this strategy isn't working, and they'd reassess, and they'd be frustrated. And I just put this slide out here, guys, because you need to understand that to be a successful, consistently profitable trader, you must mentally and physically be able to break out of your comfort zone, where it might be, to learn to trade. I would strongly encourage you guys. I'll just go back. Sorry about this. I would strongly encourage everyone to not just quit their job and to trade full time. You must develop your skill set whilst working, probably full time. So that would mean you'd have 2 jobs at once, which is why there's so little successful traders, because it's very rare to just naturally be great at trading and to just have money flood in and to make money. And really, the traders that make huge winning trades use leverage, and they are very experienced. So don't even think about that at all. So those are just a couple points I want to bring up, about, being outside your comfort zone and accepting that, and it's okay, All right. You want to challenge yourself each day. You don't. So in regards to challenging yourself each day, you don't just want to exist. So if people are watching this and they have an office job, or they're not really satisfied with their life right now, you have to understand that to be a consistently profitable trader, you must develop a strategy, and you must gain experience looking at the charts, understanding price action. You can't just simply master trading straight away. What I put it to you is, if you were a pilot for an airline company, to become a commercial pilot requires thousands of hours of experience in a plane before they'll let you take control of an aircraft. So in Forex trading, the unfortunate reality is that you could fund your account now and have real no idea what you're doing, which is dangerous, because you're flying the plane and you don't really know what you're doing. And what you need to do is put a stop to that, and then go, I need an edge in the market. You think about the other participants, and then in order to do that, you're going to have to challenge yourself. which means that you're going to have to sort of work your job, have dinner, and then you'll have to focus on learning to trade after dinner when you might want to relax. Now, I'm not saying do that every day of the week. You need relaxation time, but you will have to challenge yourself to get better at something. It's like anything. It's like gaining, muscle. You have to challenge yourself in the gym. You have to challenge your mind, in the office or wherever you trade to get better at trading. Okay, so I'll go to the next slide. All right. So enhancing physical fitness. This is not something that's really talked about a lot, and I found it has really helped my trading. Is that you want to incorporate physical training into your daily routine, where you build your fitness, and that really helps build your resilient mindset. Now, what I mean by that is to become a trader, you're going to have setbacks. There are a lot of traders that I've learned from, and they've had downfalls, they've had losses, and it's very important to understand that it's to become a successful trader, it's not going to be just a straight line. There's going to be bumps along the way, and you have to be able to tolerate that and deal with that as well. All right, so focusing on being fit and healthy is very important and will really help with your trading. So I strongly encourage that, even if it's just walking after dinner. You might walk after dinner for 30 minutes and get some fresh air. Or if you can't walk around, if you're under lockdown, wherever you are in the world, I would, go for a walk around your house, or buy an exercise bike, something. Skip rope, do some push-ups, do an exercise. I could give you an exercise plan, but I strongly encourage you to focus on exercising 30 minutes a day. All right, we'll go to the next slide now. All right. So, a learning focus. Now, what I've written here is you want to always be a student and continue to learn and enhance your understanding of many topics, such as psychology and mindfulness. You want to read every day and take time out of your day to learn something more about your profession. So, really, trading is always evolving. So, recently, if you guys have been following the markets, you would see that the typical market dynamics have changed, where equity markets are stronger, gold is moving strong. Typically, you won't see that. But due to COVID, the equity markets are being boosted by, well, frankly, a lot of stimulus from, the world banks, from all the reserve, for example, in Australia, the Reserve Bank of Australia, the Federal Reserve, in the US, Bank of England in the UK. And what's happening is they're sort of artificially inflating the stock market. People are still keeping their money there. And to be honest, the thing about trading is, the market will continue to move high, even if you don't think it makes any sense. You don't fight that. You just go with the flow in regards to what the market is doing. So it's important to be willing to stop and to learn and to absorb information and not to be too stuck in your ways. Because what will happen is you'll become a victim and you'll lose. So you can't be too stubborn in regards to the market. All right. Go to the next slide, guys. Okay. All right. This is quite an important one here. So you want to collaborate and work together with your team and network. So if you're a beginner trader, you can learn everything online for free, really. But the problem is there is so much information out there. So the issue is really there's too much. You don't know what's good and bad. So, and who to trust, who not to trust, because frankly, in the Forex world, there's a lot of people that are scamming other people out of money. They aren't real traders. They're just lying. They want your money. They're not actually looking to help you. It's honestly, it's a very, very murky area, and you've got to be careful, because if you don't, you're going to lose money. You're going to give money to someone who will literally just take your money and not do anything. So you have to be very careful. And once you have a team such as on Follow Me, you want to ask questions. Please ask questions, and you want to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. So what I mean by that is, if you have a friendship group currently that isn't supportive of your trading and you really want to get better at trading, I would strongly recommend, unfortunately, that you can't really be around them, because what's going to happen is, they're going to negatively influence you, and they're not going to help your experience at all. So that's something to really strongly consider, guys. And with your network, you want to be able to freely discuss things. For example, a trade idea, you might bring up, shorting the euro or selling the euro US dollar, and then you guys can discuss it, and you can help keep each other accountable. What I mean by that is that you want to make sure people have a stop loss in place. You want to see screenshots of the trade. You don't just want to just always agree either. If you disagree with something, have an intelligent discussion and offer feedback, and always be willing to learn. Like the previous slide, you have to be willing to learn from mistakes. That's very important. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay. This is, as I've said, no matter what, stay positive. So this is probably the one characteristic that will allow you to achieve your goals, whether it's career or trading related. So during a week, there's going to be ups and downs. If the down periods really affect you, that's not good. Because, as I've just said, your life is hard, and really it's not fair. And staying positive will allow you to be resilient to the daily roller coaster that comes your way. For example, let's talk about, I really focus on trading the Australian dollar against the US dollar. So let's just talk about that. Like I've been playing that long for several weeks, and sometimes there are not genuine breakouts, but if it looks like it's breaking out, you've got to take the trade. So the problem is that you could have a couple of small losses, and if you're not someone who can remain positive, your judgment is clouded and you won't take the trade. And that one time you don't take the trade is the time when it will run on you, and you'll miss a great trading opportunity, and then that will make it even worse. So please, please, please stay positive and don't get down in the dumps too badly if a couple of trades don't work out, because no one wins all the time. You might see guys talking about 99% win rate. That is a lie. Like, people are lying on the internet. So, please understand that. All right, let's go to the next slide here. Yes. Now, this is quite important. So you don't necessarily have to be around traders all the time, but you want, like, let's say you've got a goal where you're working a job and you want to earn just as much from trading as the job that you have right now. So you want to surround yourself with goal-oriented people that they might have a goal that's not necessarily similar to yours, but they're still working towards something. You want to really be around those types of people, because that will make your journey much easier, because you want to be around that energy where people are working, they want to get better. And that's a key thing really with trading, because as you continue to check in on the charts and you build your experience, that's going to help your understanding immensely. And what I've found really helps as well is keeping a to-do list, a daily to-do list where you might have it on a whiteboard, you might have it in a diary, wherever you might have it. And that's extremely important, where you can keep, it makes you be honest, and when you're completing it, make sure if you don't finish a task, make sure you say you didn't finish it. And I like to give reasons as well. I think we'll go to the next slide. All right, so being self-aware. So I would, if you don't know who Tom Basso is, please Google search him. He's a fantastic trend trader, and he made a great point regarding developing your self-awareness. You wanna work on your ability to see yourself in third person. So let's say you're at the desk, looking at the charts, and if you're tired and stressed, and if there's issues with work or a relationship or anything, really you don't want to trade. You have to be clear-minded, and if you can see yourself from third person and say, well, almost you want to analyze what's going on, but actually this is bad, and don't trade that. So yeah, I would strongly recommend researching Tom Basso, his methodology, because trading is much more than just clicking things and entering trades and exiting trades. To be very successful, it's much more than that. It's very psychological. And I'll discuss that more in detail as well. All right, we'll go to the next slide. All right. It's definitely okay to fail and to try again and again. Because if you want to be a great trader, or even great at your career as well, if you love your career but you still want to trade, it'll mean you'll have to fail at some point. And you want to appreciate the experience and learn from it. And that's extremely important and a characteristic of a very successful person. So if you follow, highly successful people, or even, for example, Michael Jordan and the documentary on Netflix recently put up, it's pretty clear that, someone as successful as Michael Jordan, failed a lot. And, if you watch when he briefly retired from basketball and went to baseball, how hard he worked to get better at baseball and even basketball when he was younger. Like, he wasn't naturally immediately great at basketball. Like, he really had to practice a lot. So, and in trading, it's the same thing. You're not gonna, like, you are gonna have times when you fail, and you must try again and learn from those mistakes. I've said that a few times, and I want to reinforce that you definitely need to learn from your mistakes. All right. Okay. So what I talk about here, guys, is some of the work that I did with Team China. And I'm briefly going to touch upon this, but I didn't want to go trading data, such as from back testing, is very dry and monotonous. But I just wanted to show you some of the work I did with the Chinese athletes and things like that. And, it's so important to collect data. So, for example, what I would do when I make a trade is, as soon as I enter, I take a screenshot of that and I put it in my folder for entered trades, either buy or sell. And then I'll make a trading journal, log on Excel, and I'll also handwrite it in my trading journal as well, on how I was feeling, the entry prices, what was going on, why I got in, because I need to justify it. I need to make sure I'm following the rules and I'm keeping to my checklist. So, and again, the reason why you want to collect data is you want to be able to accurately measure progress as well. Because if you keep the journal and you look back after 3 months or 6 months and you say, I've been entering too early in the day, because entering too early in the day is bad. There's wider spread, although your system could be a bit different, but I'm just using that as an example. We'll go to the next slide here. again, this is just some examples of programming, of training, and things like that, and the importance of utilizing data and how it can help performance as well. All right, so this is just an example graph. Again, an example graph for trading would be an equity curve. An equity curve is quite important. It really tells the story of what you're doing. Now, I haven't provided this, guys. I can provide it later. The reason why I did that was that I couldn't link the account to Follow Me, unfortunately. So I will have to start fresh, but I can provide a link to my FX book where you can see everything that I've done the past 2 years, or more than 2 years. So I'm happy to share that as well later in the Q&A section as well, if everyone would like. All right. Now, again, you want to track your trading. You want to know what's going on. And what I also like to do in my trading journal is I like to mention how I was feeling. If I had good sleep, what was going on in my day, things like that, because that's very important, I found, to my trading performance as well. Again, and a good website for tracking your trading is my FX book, where you can see everything you've done. You link it, it's free, and then you can see returns, and you can really see what you've done, and you can start seeing issues. For example, like you're risking too much, you're adding to a losing position. There's so much really to explore with your trading, and you want to hold yourself accountable, and you want to be transparent. You want to see like, wow, why am I doing that? What's going on? And you want to be able to track your performance, because trading is very black and white. Like you're either doing well or you're not doing well, and you want to know why you're not doing well, and learn from that and go forward. So again, this is just an example of the work that I did, and I talk about this because I applied, the philosophy of, being outside your comfort zone, constantly learning, and really honestly just being consistent with my study, and surrounding myself with the correct people, to get to the good job, because the thing with trading is you need a certain amount of capital to trade with. You can't really live off a $10,000 trading account. That is very difficult to do unless you have no expenses. But most people do have expenses. So in order to get a bigger trading account, you need to earn more money. So that's why I went and worked in China, because they pay very well. So that's something that you guys need to understand, is that to really be able to trade full time for trading, you need a large, probably at least $100,000 in trading account. That's what I've found anyway. All right.
Wow, some sharing by Scott. Scott, are you done, right?
It should be going to, again, here's some scoreboard stuff. This is just some examples of tracking data, which again, I've said a few times, but it's important to understand. All right. Okay, let us go to the next topic, which is trading psychology. So a person does not withstand the psychological pressure from huge losses and closes positions. We see that a lot. Recently, it would have been people selling gold when it was breaking out of 1900 or even earlier. And, unfortunately, that would have happened to a lot of people. And it's unfortunate. But the market is not as simple as it is often advertised. Professionals earn in the market. Insiders, they teach the beginners the teachings to beginners by a lot of the gurus, the so to speak gurus, they create a lot of false breakthroughs of all kinds of trend lines, triangles, shoulder lines, other technical stuff, and that involves the crowd in unprofitable transactions. They use levels of order accumulation to create movement in the direction they need, and then they make money in the markets. You need to become a professional trader yourself. Unfortunately, monthly courses are not enough for this. So what I mean by this is that there are typical characteristics in trading where bigger market participants such as institutions and banks are aware of retail traders' stops and will target them, because that's what you've learned in the courses. But you've got to be open-minded in a sense where you've got to think bigger picture. You can't do what all the retail traders do, because unfortunately the retail traders have a tendency to lose, and they lose a lot, and that's just the nature of the game. So you have to be thinking like a professional already, even before you're a professional. All right, just a little bit more on trading psychology here. So the fact is that the market, is a very peculiar environment. It's really incomparable with anything in ordinary life. For example, if you're a trader, I've had sometimes where I make a couple of trades in the month. So when you actually break down how much work I did in the month, it would have been like 5 minutes, to make a month's salary. But you have to understand that to get to the point where you're making significant amount of money in trading, it requires a lot of dedication and practice and work. It's like, a boxer. They might fight 2 rounds. It's like 6 minutes, and they might make $10 million. But in order to get into the ring, there's hours and hours and hours of training and preparation. So that's what you've got to think about. But the market movements do not obey any laws. They never repeat exactly, although similar price formations appear. Now, every moment the market is unique. Every movement, sorry. And they can go according to fundamental factors, or they can go against them. The market is an environment with constant uncertainty. All this can be described in one word: a paradox. Now I'll go into more detail now. So it is necessary to reform your beliefs and attitude towards trading in such a way that you can trade without the slightest fear, but at the same time remain collected and do not allow yourself to be negligent. So what I mean by that is, let's say you were trading the euro and you were trying to sell the euro at a top for where it is right now. In fact, now if you try a couple times and incur 2 losing trades, for example, 1% each, you'd be like, oh, you wouldn't feel the best. But at the same time of dealing with that, you have to remain collected and you have to be willing to go again if it follows the rules. So you can't be fearful of losing. That's very important as well. So trading is a kind of activity that offers everyone infinite freedom of expression. Such freedom that most of us have been deprived of for our whole lives. So, the issue with that is we're not used to essentially really doing whatever we'd like to do. So, and what I mean by that is we were all born in a social environment with many restrictions, rules, morality, etc. And the social need for restrictions and the personal desire for self-expression are in conflict. So everyone who is trying to master the art of trading faces this conflict. Trading is an environment where we ourselves establish the rules of conduct. There are almost no boundaries and limitations to our self-expression. Now, the issue with that is there's no structure. There's no rules. So for someone who doesn't like rules and boundaries, trading can be difficult, because what will happen is you'll have periods where everything's fine, but no trading system works all the time. Sometimes you can't be trading, and some people can't deal with that. So this is going to flow immediately into risk management. Now, risk management is probably the most important, because the issue with trading is that you trade to make money. But the concern is that you don't want to think about making the money. You want to think about your strategy. because if you think about money, you'll miss the cues of your trading strategy because you'll be too focused on making money, and you will neglect the rules. You'll focus on risking too much money, and that can have a detrimental effect. All right, so you can not trade on strong news. Now, this is an example of a website that I would utilize for monitoring the news, and it's especially important to be aware of significant news events such as interest rate decisions. Although recently that hasn't been applicable because all interest rates are pretty much zero globally. But recently it's been the announcement of stimulus packages and things like that from governments. So there's still news. You have to learn the significance of the news in the current climate. So again, that leans back to what I said about the importance of learning. And when you're not sure about the deal, you don't want to trade. So if the market is quite flat and in a range, you want to wait. You don't want to participate in that because it's very unpredictable, and you want to wait for a moment where the price gets to a level of opportunity. For example, recently with the Aussie dollar, it hit 71.97 cents, and 72 is a significant psychological level, and it couldn't get through that. And that's what I mean in regards to waiting for something, not when it's floating around, not really doing anything. And you can see the volume and things like that. It's not, the volumes aren't high. That just means there's not a lot of participants. So you don't participate in that because it's unclear where it's going. It's random. Too random to really gain a edge. You want to wait for a high probability setup. All right. Now, another important point about risk management is if you're not in a psychologically, if you're in a psychologically unstable state, please don't trade. You might have had a bad day at work. There might have been issues with your relationship. You might even not be feeling well, and I would strongly encourage you to not trade if that's the case. So just don't trade. And another important point is please don't average down. So let's say you're trading a pair such as the euro-US dollar, and it's reversing, and you're selling it, but it doesn't reverse. So don't add to a position if it continues to go against you. Make sure the stop loss is in place. Let it hit the stop loss, end the trade, review things, and probably stop trading that day is what I would say. All right, we'll go to the next slide here, guys. So this is the exciting part. This is me discussing the trading strategy. So we trade on the 2-hour to the daily time frame. Now scalps. So really honestly, my main time frames are the 4-hour, the daily, and the 1-hour. I will enter on the 1-hour. Now, there's no need to scalp or open low quality deals. So
Hello everyone. So I think he left out because of, I think he got some emergency, that's why he left out. Let me continue. Okay, so what's going on is thank you for such awesome content shared by Mr. Scott. So I believe all of the audiences have gained so much information. So another hot topic for tonight, let me raise out the offer. Okay, so you can see this is the offer. Can you guys see the offer right now? Okay, so have all of you grabbed the 90 USD cash reward? Because this offer is way too good to turn down. It's a must for me to mention. And it's another program named FOLLOWSTAR, a referral program which gives up USD in cash. So one question to all of our audiences. Do you have 5 friends? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends. Do you have 5? I bet all of you do, right? So if you have 5 friends, basically you are already entitled for a 90 USD reward. Wait no more. Click on the offer on your right and check it out right now. And then previously, there are only 4 groups of instant messenger, which are Malaysian traders, Indonesian traders, Vietnamese traders, Thailand traders, for traders to interact. Follow Me recently has come up with a few new groups whereby users are no longer bound by nationality. There are global traders, verified traders, copy traders are now ready for user. And also check out another 6 groups where users were categorized by products, such as gold product, the BTI Club, and other currencies group. So once again, thanks Mr. Scott for such wonderful sharing. Thank you everyone for your time with us today. Check out the hashtag of FOLLOWMEFOLLOWEBINAR. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more exciting updates. Thank you and have a nice day. Good night.